Hello everyone, welcome to our news channel. Here you are always well informed. I ask you to please subscribe, leave a like and thank you. Former Republican President Donald Trump arrived at the Alpha Gamma Rho fraternity house before the annual Cyhawk football game Saturday to a crowd of cheering students who chanted his name, Trump. 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 Minutes before, students decked in Iowa State University Cyclones gear played cornhole and beer pong and music blared from the speakers as they waited for the presidential candidate to talk with them. Trump flipped burgers over a smoking grill as staff members lined up branded Trump footballs, which Trump signed and tossed into the cheering crowd before leaving to go to Jack Trice Stadium, where he signed more autographs. The annual matchup between ISU and the University of Iowa football teams is a lauded tradition for both programs, and it has previously attracted presidential candidates seeking to woo Iowans ahead of the state's presidential caucuses. According to a source familiar with the arrangements, Trump joined Iowa Republican donor Gary Kirk in a private suite. He arrived as the marching band took the field, and a scrum of onlookers waved up to him in the private box. As Trump watched the game, a crowd of supporters gathered outside the enclosed suites, trying to catch a glimpse of him and chanting his name. Trump previously attended the game in 2015 as he campaigned for president, walking around the parking lots before kickoff and posting on social media that he was visiting Jack Trice Stadium. Look back, football and politics collide at 2015 Cyhawk game. On Saturday, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis, former North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, former Arkansas Governor Asa Hutchinson and Ohio biotech entrepreneur Vivek Ramaswamy were also making appearances at the game. It is Trump's first trip back to Iowa since breezing through the Iowa State Fair last month, where he was met with similarly boisterous crowds. Since that visit, Trump was criminally indicted for a fourth time, this time on state-level charges that he was part of a sweeping conspiracy to overturn the 2020 presidential election results in Georgia. He also skipped the first GOP presidential primary debate, which was held in Milwaukee August 23. Still, he leads the field of Republican presidential contenders by a double-digit margin in Iowa. According to a mid-August Des Moines Register/NBC News/Mediacom Iowa poll, Trump is the favorite of 42% of likely Republican caucusgoers. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis follows with 19%, and U.S. Senator Tim Scott is at 9%. He has campaigned in Iowa relatively infrequently, holding just 4 public announced events. And he has mostly eschewed his typical large-scale rallies in favor of smaller retail-style stops where he can drop in and out of pre-planned events. The game kicked off at 2:40 p.m. Saturday. Trump was careful to appeal to both teams in a campaign news release announcing his visit. Former acting Attorney General Matt Whitaker, also a former tight end for the Hawkeyes, said he was thrilled to invite the former president. And Senate Majority Leader Jack Whitver, a former Iowa State wide receiver, said he was proud to have President Trump witness the greatest rivalry in college sports. Before Trump himself stopped by the game, his campaign established its presence throughout the parking lots around Jack Trice Stadium. Volunteers stood under tents decked out in Trump 2024 flags, handing out green koozies that declared the campaign back-to-back Iowa champs in exchange for their name, address, and email. Trump came in second place during the 2016 Iowa caucuses, but carried the state in the 2016 and 2020 general elections. At the Trump tent off Jack Trice Way east of the stadium, volunteers wearing gear for both schools waved pamphlets and koozies at passers-by. "I know you want one," one volunteer shouted. One woman donned a custom Iowa jersey with "Trump won" on the back, and the number 45. Some of the Cyclone and Hawkeye faithful cheered as they walked by. One man leaned out of the passenger side of a truck as it rolled by to scribble down his name and grab a koozie.